have Devon, Kasper, and Dermody from East Hampton High School, and they did a really cool project titled Abandonment, and they accepted our cash prize. They're splitting a $1,000 cash prize to help send them off to college in style. We'll pull up their presentation. Not on the computer process.
We were in a multimedia class at the beginning of the year, and we didn't know who each other were. I walked up to Jordan one day, and I'm like, do you want to do some scholarship project with me? And she said, yeah, and here we are.
Okay, so the first thing is that we were put into this multimedia class because we needed the credits to graduate. So we had no idea how to use iMovie, we had no idea how to use GarageBand or Animoto, and I've only used Prezi like 1 or 2 times, so we were really just like kind of going into this. And then, like Devon said, she came over to me and she was like, hey, we should work on this scholarship together. I was like, all right, why not? So we were just like, let's go for it.
So if you don't know what we did, if you haven't started the video, there are these abandoned mills around town, and a lot of them have been reused or rebuilt, or they're just beautiful now, except for this one right here, and this one we actually took for ourselves. So we wanted to commemorate that and make something beautiful out of it, because like we view destruction as abandonment because our town doesn't care about it anymore, and it's not used.
Yeah, and those are really important in East Hampton. The top picture is actually that mill right there when it was working, and like kind of made East Hampton what it was today. Okay, so what we did was we actually made a bench. So we took bricks that like already had fell from the actual building, and we made them like armrests, and my dad kind of helped us make a bench. He was just like, all right, here's how to use the tools, go ahead, measure it, and do it. So that was really exciting for us, because we have no experience whatsoever doing that.
We had no idea to do anything, really. It was all like trial and error. We worked so hard on this and failed frequently.
And it's kind of hard to see on the bench, but the pictures that you just saw on the other side are actually transferred onto the wood of the bench. So one of the coolest parts actually about the mills that we chose is that recently, like less than a month ago, they put a bid together to actually remake this mill into something. So that's really cool for us because we kind of feel like we started that whole movement. Okay, so this wasn't really easy for us. Okay, so actually getting into the mills was really hard.
It was a challenge.
It is an abandoned building, so we're
We're not really supposed to go into the mills.
Yeah, but we did anyway. We got a lot of really awesome pictures, and I think once we got the pictures and we went back to class, we were like, wow, this is really real, and we got really excited about it. So that was another really awesome.
And our teacher, Miss Kasper, we told her, we're going to go to the mills. She's like, what? Why are you going to do that?
Yeah.
And we told her we're going to build a bench. She's like, why? So she was supportive, but she didn't really quite get what we were getting at.
Everyone kind of thought we were crazy when we said we were going to make a bench. Taking the pictures is like another.
We're not photographers. We have no skills in this realm of activities, but
It was really cool because one of the things we saw in there was like an abandoned elevator and stuff like that.
like old no smoking signs that were painted there, and old staircases that had been blocked off. And it was really eye-opening to see all these abandoned things.
Getting the bricks is another challenge. I was thinking bricks are heavy, yeah, but it's not going to be that hard to actually go in and get 10 bricks. So I was bringing a bag and my dad stopped me and he was like, Jordan, there's no way that bag's going to hold those bricks. I'm like, Dad, don't worry, I got this. And he's like, no, really, the straps are going to break. So I got a bigger bag, I'm like, all right, whatever. And as Devon and I were going in there, it was so heavy. We had a huge bag, it was this big, and I was so scared that the straps were going to break, but luckily, we were okay. Oh gosh.
You don't know what GarageBand is? Still.
Yeah. It was absolutely awful. We
really challenging.
And every time you moved like something slightly over, it messed the entire music up. You had to like go back and like fix so that the music wasn't really loud when you were talking, or it needed to be longer or shorter. It was just all over the place. So making the music was probably the biggest.
One of the most challenging.
Yeah. How long do you think we worked on the music for?
Probably 2 weeks in total. Like,
Yeah.
It's a long time. Not counting recording our voices, that took a few weeks alone.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we wanted to do something different. We took a risk, a little weird one. We built a bench. But we thought that the mills in our town, they haven't been burned yet. They haven't been knocked down with the bulldozers. It's not like your usual understanding of destruction. It was really like our town just kind of came to the side, and we wanted to bring attention to it and make people remember like how important it was to our like industrialization.
Yeah, and abandonment just kind of came to us. We were trying to like figure out the problem. We watched it like maybe like 10 times before we were like, all right. And then it said something about community, and that's when we really kind of were like, oh, well, you know what? Why not the mills? And then we went to check it out. And here we are. Yeah. If there are any questions.
We've got 4 minutes for questions.
Yeah.
So like, what is the final product that it looks like? Like, did you combine the picture and video you did and bench together?
Can we show it? It's like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I have actually seen it.
This is
Sweet.
Yeah.
Here are like voices recorded.
Yeah. That was kind of cool.
Any other questions on pulling?
Yeah, any other questions? Yeah.
So, what is the bench doing right now?
Well, it's in Jordan's garage.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow right now, but there's like a bike track.
Right, that goes right past our, like the mills in our town.
Yeah,
And there's a sign that has the history of it. So we want to put it right there. So
Yeah,
people
there's
can
like-
like hang out and sit on it.
Yeah.
And we have to turn on the sound. Why don't you take another question, girls?
Oh, are there any other questions? No? Yeah.
Are either of you taking any sort of anything of what you learned into what you want to do in the future? Or either of you looking into studying environment?
No, we're going to the medical field.
Yeah. So it was like really ambitious for us.
Yeah,
Just kind of like go for it.
as an idea, just what we were doing. It was a challenge.
Yeah, but it was fun.
It was
And
fun. We learned a lot.
Yeah.
We made a friend.
Yeah.
We came over.
Yes, yeah.
No, it's not.
It's plain, it's just not you can see the visuals.
The music is crucial.
Yeah, I know. It was so hard on that.
On it. So the presentations are judged based on the idea and the work that goes into the idea, but also on the presentation itself. So we take into account the effort that people put into how they present their work. So this was, the video itself was a large part also by the girls. Were awarded this point.
We didn't know how to use iMovie at all. We've never used that before. So there's this like computer thing that called Animoto. So it kind of makes a video that helps you do that. And then we had to import it into iMovie and then import GarageBand into iMovie and just pile all these things together. And it took a long time.
It did take a long time, but it was really fun. We got to do a lot of great things.
It's more sound.
You can all see the video with sound at minds.marlboro.edu. However, we will figure out the sound because other people need the sound also. Any other questions?
Yeah.
So did that filming with the video?
We did a lot of it. Like we like kind of
Stood
stood
our
our
iPhones
iPhones up, and my mom helped out like at some points, but mostly it was all us. You guys see the transfer?
Oh yeah.
This is how we actually transfer the pictures on. See the bench.
That was another thing we had never done before.
Yeah, that was fun.
To the destruction of this building, we took a part of our town that was abandoned, destroyed, and brought pieces of it back to life again in a way that community